EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. Three tight ends are out there. Up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. This defense for the Steelers much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. Now Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. 7 yards, the pickup there. Working with a 2nd and 3. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Burrow's throw taken in by Landry. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now Joe Mixon. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 46 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback. And no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. Here's a give to Mixon, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about with one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Off the play fake. Pickett. He's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Pickett. He's going to try and go deep again. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long, got to push it downfield to try and pick up the 1st down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
Play action. Open man is Chase, complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
And Jamar Chase won the 2019 Biletnikoff Award as the nation's top receiver while at LSU. And the guy who threw him the passes there, Joe Burrow, now his quarterback.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. And the Steelers force the take over at their own 27. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Looking to throw. Pickett. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. So, Charles, take nothing away from this young man under center, because I know people think he's got a very bright future in this league, but I have to figure the defensive coordinators love the thought of squaring off against a rookie quarterback.
And especially if they have guys they can put together a game plan with that's going to confuse, disguise a lot of coverage, make this kid think a little bit. Because in college, he's seen a lot of things. Let's not get it wrong here. But at the same time, in the NFL, you can do so much more because of the athletes you have, because of their football IQ. And don't forget, you're going to throw a couple extra rushers at him as well. See if he can handle the pressure when those guys come at him.
On 1st and 10, Pickett. He gets it complete to Harris. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Johnson. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now a play fake here under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
As we all know, a big priority for Cincinnati in 2021 is building up the line on both sides of the ball. They want to protect Joe Burrow on the offensive side, but the defense as a whole only produced 17 sacks last year, the lowest total in the NFL. So getting to the quarterback, as we just saw there, that's a nice sign for the Bengals.
Looking to throw on second down. Pickett. That's swung out wide to Harris. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Pickett. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I'm looking at this one with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
So the turnover leads to points as they have 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. 2nd and 8. Here's Burrow. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Hurst.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
59 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
On second down, here's Mixon. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll find Chase on the right side complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Steps away to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It's not like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score.
Get him, boy. Get him, boy. I'm one, ready?
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. Jamar Chase there to make the grab. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And McPherson on for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And this will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Throwing on 1st down. Pickett. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Fryermuth. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. Pickett. Open man here is Gentry.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And some space here. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
There he goes left side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is down to 4. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they'll take over with just 18 ticks remaining. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That's on the guard, Alex Kappa.
Here we go. Right 80.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And he's got the hook up to Landry. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. A handoff to Mixon, pushing through the contact. And he's going to have a 1st down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Tackle made that time by Mike Hilton, former Steeler.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Slam, slam, slam.
Harris going to get it again on second down. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Good track. 152. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Pickett. That's complete to the former Aggie Jay Sternberger. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Off play action. Pickett. Making the catch is Sternberger. And the ball is knocked out, and the Bengals grab it. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
8 yards to go on 2nd down. Play action. It's Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit, because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
From the 2-yard line yet again. Let's see what they can do on 3rd and goal. Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? 87 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And the Bengals are going to get it back here just past the 35. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll run here with Mixon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now they run with Mixon. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th.
Here we go. Check 55. Here we go. Behind. Right 80. What is it? 11 MT tight. 11 MT tight.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Higgins. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are right back in this football game. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
To throw on third down, Pickett. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off at about the 31. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning, threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
From the 30 on second down, Burrow. Got a man open. It's Chase. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Now it's Burrow. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. McPherson now for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Room to run past midfield. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. 133 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. The Steelers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. Back to throw. Pickett. Quick completion here to Johnson. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. You know that they were thinking second half comeback here. That's a big miss if they want to have a chance at that comeback.
A very big miss because time is becoming a real factor now, and they're 3 scores down.
They try to eat some clock with Mixon. Mixon with a 1st down and more. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A.J. Boye with a pick. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do